My name is Tom and I'm an alcoholic. In an effort to improve outreach to members in the armed services who may be struggling with an alcohol problem, we're collecting interviews from current AA members serving in the U.S. and Canadian Armed Forces to share the experience and strength and hope they have found in Alcoholics Anonymous.
So Laslo, welcome. Thank you very much for doing this. The floor is yours to introduce yourself briefly, sir.
Well, that's very kind. Thank you for having me. I'm honored that you asked. And I would start by saying that I'm a member of the Canadian Army, and I've been in the forces now for 31 years. I started out in the ranks and eventually became an officer. I've had a variety of trades over the years. My journey began in the police. Later on, I became an Air Force pilot. I flew fixed wing and helicopter very briefly before having an incident that ended my flying career. The forces was really good to me, and we settled on my current occupation. So I'm currently the chief comptroller in a formation here in the Atlantic provinces. So I'm currently a captain. I think that my drinking began in the military. I grew up in a remote village in northern British Columbia, and we didn't have alcohol in the home growing up. I served in Afghanistan with a unit called the Counter Improvised Explosive Device Task Force. And when I came home, I was the same but changed. We were dealing with anywhere between 13 to 30 bombs a day in our area of responsibility. And I came back different. I would say that my drinking began somewhere around 2010. And with the knowledge that I know now, I know that my drinking was excessive, and it was out of control, and as a result, my life was out of control. I knew that I had a problem with drinking. I don't know why I didn't get into the rooms immediately. I tried quitting on my own twice. I white knuckled it. I tried all the negotiating pieces. I tried only drinking on weekends. I tried only drinking light beverages. I tried all of the things I think we all naturally do. And having failed both times at trying to quit drinking, I realize now, and when I speak to others now about this, I recognize that I could not do this on my own. It required the help of others and, of course, a higher power. I reached out to a supervisor to let him know that I needed help. And his response was astounding. He just said, "Whatever you need, Laz." And I checked into a program almost 7 years ago. And Alcoholics Anonymous has been a main part of my life ever since. When I quit drinking, the fog lifted, and physical sobriety quickly led to emotional sobriety. And as a result of being emotionally sober, the drama in my life that I had created for myself dissipated. Like, I have problems like anyone else, but I no longer create drama. So my life is much better overall. The Canadian Forces recognized that it had a problem within its ranks as an organization, and made huge strides to take out any stigma attached to those who would need to get help. And they even struck up a program called the Sentinel Program, which is a program I'm a part of. And so if you see one of the badges I'm wearing here on my uniform, it identifies me as a member of the forces who has received non-professional mental health training to help others with issues and concerns they might have in the workplace. And it's an incredibly successful program. So part of my job here as a Sentinel is to make sure that when people are asking for help, that they know that there will be no reprisal, no negative effects to their career for reaching out and asking for help. And just 2 weeks ago, I got a person who came to my door, and we immediately got her off to assistance and help. And she hasn't had a drink in 15 days. And I can tell you countless examples of that. I've always been very open about being in the program. All my coworkers know that I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous. I tell them that if they need someone in their lives, whether it's a work person or someone in their family, and they need someone to talk to, that they can approach me. So I personally have chosen to have a reduced anonymity because I'm actually playing that card as a function of my job in the armed forces right now, helping others. This is my bonus round, and I'm not going to waste it. And so few of us get an opportunity to have a bonus round where we get a chance to go in and fix things and make it right. Before my parents passed away, they got to see me sober. And I think that if you improve the life of one alcoholic, you improve the life of about 10 people. Moms being on the list, dads being on the list. Spouses might come and go, but your kids are with you forever. Your siblings know what's going on. And it's important for me now that in my family, I'm trusted and respected. And when it comes to myself and my relationship with myself, I trust myself and I respect myself because I'm doing my part to keep my side of the street clean. And I would have never done it had it not been for the help of Alcoholics Anonymous. So, Laslo, fun fact, I'm Muslim, and this is a Muslim prayer cap. And I wear this in uniform to identify with being a practitioner of Islam while I continue to serve. And this also helps me in the program because from time to time, a Muslim will walk in the room. And as you can imagine, there are very few resources in the Islamic community for alcoholism because there's so much shame and religious bad talk about alcohol. Well, it's like deafness. It doesn't care who your dad was. It doesn't care what your religion is. And so when another Muslim walks through the rooms, I see them, and then I'm able to offer them strength and hope. I feel that when I'm practicing the program in AA, I'm practicing my faith. Every great faith teaches one to keep their side of the street clean and try to live their lives in an honorable way. So it wouldn't matter what religion I would be practicing my faith if I was trying to get right with myself, with my fellow pedestrians in life, and of course, my higher power. Those are all the teachings in AA. I think of my time before being in AA like being in jail, but a jail of the mind. My head was a place where I didn't like being. And by learning to forgive and by reaching out to others, my mind is not like that anymore. I sleep peacefully at night. And I have deep discussions with wonderful people. And I wouldn't trade this for anything else.
Thank you, Laslo.
The views and opinions expressed during this podcast are those of the individuals. No one person speaks for AA as a whole. For more information about AA, please visit our website at aa.org. To find a meeting near you or a meeting online, download the Meeting Guide app on your mobile device.